Hi guys, I'm Scott Selby. This is Andrew Myers. Welcome to another 360 test drive with Classic Mazda of Denton. Today we are going to be testing out the 2020 Mazda 3. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing started. Go ahead and put your seatbelt on.
Yep,
we're good to go. Alright guys, so kind of like some of the other cars we mentioned, this one does have that tilt and telescopic steering wheel. I like to have my seat a little farther back, so I always like to pull my steering wheel a little farther back, get a little bit of room. Okay, down here you're going to notice you have your commander wheel, and this is your whole connect system. So you're going to use this to control that. Right down here you've got your electronic parking brake, your auto hold, sport button, and then up here is going to be all your climate control stuff. Did you have something to say?
Oh, no. I was just making sure we touched everything. They've laid out everything a little differently in this one from some of the other Mazdas. This has the new Generation 7 touchscreen panel with your mapped out buttons here. It looks very similar to our last system. They've just made a few changes to where those buttons are laid out.
It's very, very driver-centered. I mean, you can reach everything from the driver's seat. You don't feel distracted. Very, very comfortable car. On the left side here, you're going to have all your audio controls and things like that. Back here on this stock is going to be your headlight controls. This one does have the automatic headlights as well as high beam control, so they're going to automatically kick on for you whenever you decide to start driving, or whenever you decide to get in the car. And then at the end of the day, you don't have to worry about turning your headlights off or battery drain or anything like that.
Correct.
Being the premium trim level, this one is going to have that heads-up display. You're not going to be able to see it in the video right there, but it is really cool, guys. It's going to project on your window, tell you things like your speed, radar, cruise control stuff. If you have navigation installed, it's going to show you some navigation cues, things like that. And it's really cool. It's not distracting. It looks like it's just floating in front of the car. It doesn't get in your way. Right side here is going to be all your windshield wiper controls. This one does have the automatic windshield wipers on it as well, so if it just starts raining, those are going to kick on for you. Super cool. All right. Alright, so going around this corner, this one does have that G vectoring control as well. You're going to notice it tries to balance out the load of the vehicle. So it's going to do that by changing the amount of torque applied to each front wheel to just kind of keep the vehicle leveled out. So if you have to do any emergency maneuvering, anything like that, you're not going to have a lot of little jitters or anything in the steering wheel. And for those long drives, it's going to take out those micro corrections that cause a lot of driver fatigue. So that guy just passed me. This one does have blind spot monitoring on it, so whenever he pulled up in my blind spot right there, I was able to see a light. If I were to hit the turn signal at that point, it would have gave me a beep to let me know that somebody was there. That way I would avoid any kind of collision. This one, guys, is just loaded full of safety features too. I mean, you've got rear. Does this one have the rear cross traffic alert?
This one does have the rear cross traffic alert.
So rear cross traffic alert, smart brake support, blind spot monitoring.
Yep. Yeah, it's got radar cruise control, the high beam control as well.
The radar cruise control is awesome, guys. That's one of my favorite features on these newer cars coming out. So let's say you're cruising down the highway going 75 miles an hour. You come up on a guy who's doing 55. Normally you would have to hit the brakes or adjust your cruise control or something like that, right? Well, with radar cruise control, you don't have to worry about that anymore because it's automatically going to detect that guy in front of you, match your speed, and then as soon as he gets out of the way, it's going to pick you right back up to 75 miles an hour. And this one does have stop and go too, correct?
Yes, it does.
Awesome. So yeah, if he came to a complete stop even in front of you while you're on cruise control, the car's going to come to a complete stop, and then when he moves out of the way, it's going to pick right back up to 70.
And it's not an abrupt stop. It's a very gentle, normal, smooth stop that you'd expect coming up to a stoplight, so you don't have to worry about any uncomfortability.
Absolutely. And this one does have that smart brake support too, guys.
Yes.
So it uses the same sensors as the radar cruise control.
Yeah, same distance recognition support software and radar sensors are used for the brake support, so that activates between 2 and 90 miles an hour and will keep you from getting into an accident if you're about to run to the back of someone. So super important. We've all been there. Traffic can come out of nowhere at any given time, so it's helpful to have another set of eyes on the road.
Absolutely. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Mazda 3, but in 2019 they did a complete redesign. So if you're driving a pre-2019 Mazda 3, this is absolutely different. It's so much more refined.
Night and day, yeah.
Night and day. Mazda's trying to move towards more of a luxury brand, and you can really see that shining through in their little flagship models like the Mazda 3 and that CX-30 that they just came out with.
Yeah, and one of the things they did specifically on this 3 that previous Mazda 3 owners and drivers will be able to attest to, the previous version of the vehicle was a little noisy, a little loud, and had a lot of road noise. They have completely silenced this car.
Yeah, we're on a bumpy road.
Yeah, I mean, quiet. I can barely hear what's going on outside. Usually wind noise was a problem. You can hear roaring constantly outside of the cabin. All those issues are done. They put acoustic glass in. They have added pounds and pounds of sound deadening insulation to the front and sides of the vehicle as well. And they even changed the speaker placement on the interior of the car. Instead of having a big door speaker down here, you have speakers laid out in tweeters to give you a better surround sound experience and reduce that road noise. So,
are we still on the 2-liter engine with these guys, or is it the 2.5
these have
now?
the same engine as the CX-5, actually. The
So the
2.5
Awesome.
is now standard on every single vehicle we produce, except for the Miata and the CX-3.
So you're getting the same engine out of an SUV in a smaller car, and you can
Yes.
definitely feel the power, the control. I mean, this thing is a blast to drive. I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit of gas.
Sure, yeah.
The seat picks up nice and smooth, nice smooth shift points, and we're not even in sport mode, guys.
Yeah,
This is
absolutely.
just
That
regular
sport mode will give you 26 pounds of boost right there as well. So you have definitely some options to have a lot of fun in this car if that is what you were looking to do.
Yeah, so, well, this one's not the turbocharged model, is it?
This one is not. The Mazda 3 has
the
not
Mazda-
received a turbo version yet.
Exactly. And then I know whenever on the like GTR, you start off with like 3 pounds of boost, and then it pushes you up to like 13 when you go into sport mode. With this guy, what it's going to mainly do is try and change your fuel mapping, and then it's going to change your shift points in the car to try and give you as much power as possible. But normally, we're going for as much economy as possible, right?
Right. Especially in this kind of car, typically what people are looking for is, somewhere high 30s mile per gallon, convenient enough to bring their family and travel in if needed. And that's definitely what this car brings to the table. It has one of the best fuel economy ratings out of any small sedan in the entire segment. And definitely think it looks the best out of all of them. A little biased. I've owned 4 Mazdas now over the last 4 years. But
They're reliable. They're great
they are
cars.
really doing some innovative stuff when it comes to the designing
Absolutely.
and building of these cars.
Well, guys, I know there's a lot to cover in this car, so if you have any other questions, just give us a call back at 940-498-9800, or you can reach us at classicmazdaofdenton.com or on Facebook. This is Andrew Myers. Once again, he's going to take really
Thank
good care
you
of you
again.
guys. And that concludes our test drive, so have a great rest of your day.